Good evening, everybody. It is day 22 of Here's to My Health Challenge. And I mentioned we were having some issues yesterday, and today was an interesting day too. Yesterday I found gratitude and found ways to kind of remember to not sweat the small things, and not having a toilet or some water for a couple of days is a small thing. So I talked a lot about grounding yesterday and kind of what helps me to calm down, remembering gratitude, remembering the things that I should be thankful for. And so that was a good day. Today it felt kind of like more of the same. I had kind of a rough day, and I titled this session tonight, Sometimes It's Hard to Walk Away. And it was really a reminder to point out that despite a lot of effort to make changes, and despite doing a pretty good job over the last few months of baby steps and making some changes in my life, sometimes it's just hard to not listen to the most familiar voices in your head. And today, my voice that I was having a really hard time ignoring was telling me that it was okay to go have a drink. It was okay to go have some comfort food because of the way I was feeling. It was, we deserved it. It was okay to do whatever I wanted to do instead of some hard work and trying to pay attention to, eating healthy. And it was powerful enough today that after I went to the laundromat and washed a whole bunch of clothes that we have not been able to wash for a few days, and after I talked to a friend who, is struggling in her new job, and after I, went most of the day without eating because it just was that kind of a day. I was running and we didn't have a lot in the house, and I was trying really hard not to eat what everybody else in the house was eating, and so I just sort of avoided the house altogether. So after all that, I was driving back to Winthrop. Twisp is about 7 miles from Winthrop. That's where the laundromat is. So I was driving back, and the voice that was calling to me was all this, comfort and old ways. And so when I said it's hard to walk away, that's what I meant. It's hard to walk away from the familiar me, the person that would have in the past gone straight to the bar. My husband and cousin were still here waiting for the plumber to come. There was no reason why I couldn't just go straight to the bar, finish the Gonzaga game, have whatever I wanted to eat and whatever I wanted to drink, because I deserved it today. That's what my brain was telling me. That's what that familiar voice was telling me. And it felt different this time. I pulled up in front of the bar, and I was still on the phone with somebody. And I thought, yeah, I can go in there, and nobody's gonna know. I can have whatever I want to drink and eat whatever I want. Nobody's gonna know. In the past, I would have done that. Tonight, I just stayed in the car. I talked to this person on the phone. Found out what the score of the Gonzaga game was, realized I wasn't missing anything by not watching it. So I sat there for a while, and then I just pulled out. I was still talking to her, pulled out, and headed home. And by the time I got home, those sort of urges, the cravings that I was having were pretty much gone. And instead of feeling guilt and feeling really bad about not keeping my promise to myself to stay healthy, instead of feeling that guilt that has haunted me in the past, because I have slipped every time I have, decided to fall off my health program. And so this time I felt really proud of myself and felt mainly in control. And that's been a very different thing for me. In the past, I don't think that I was in control of my emotions. I will pick up other people's feelings, and I usually helped myself to alcohol and food to sort of dampen those feelings that I was having, and to just kind of push through that and just deal with the feelings of isolation, the feelings of feeling bad about this other person I talked to today, Instead of all that, I just kept moving forward. And by the end of the night, I felt much more in control and then confident that I could handle kind of anything. So sometimes it is hard to walk away from yourself, from the person that you've known for so many years. And I always say that, fear comes in all kinds of disguises, and that is sort of at the base of what we have to deal with to push past and to do anything that we want to do. And fear also protects us. So it's not that we can just walk away from our fear that is internally wired in us. We need to make friends with our fear. We need to talk to our fear and have control to be able to say, enough. You're not in control anymore. You're not the one driving this car anymore. I want somebody else to be in control for a while. So it can be as silly as naming your fear voice, but it is very powerful in all of us, and sometimes we don't even recognize that it's fear. So thanks. That's all I had to say today was sometimes it is hard to walk away, but try it. And one of my dear old friends made the comment that all you have to do is remember how it feels. Remember how it feels to go in. Absolutely, I had free will to go into the bar and have my favorite drink and have my favorite food. But I did remember her words, and I remembered how I felt when I used to do that. Achy joints, hard to get out of my seat because my hips would ache. Achy hands, achy feet. My head always felt crowded and cloudy, and I had a hard time concentrating. So there were a lot of things. So certainly I could have gone in there and, what's one night? But a lot of you that have been following me have helped me to grow and have helped me to be more confident. And I remembered to remember how I would have felt if I'd gone in there. I would have felt really bad afterwards. And I either would have had to tell all of you what I really did, what I did, or lie to you, and also lie to myself. And so felt pretty good about how the night ended and thought I would share with all of you. So yes, moments of weakness come and they go, and those thoughts come and they go. And, I will go up now and take a nice long bubble bath because our plumbing is back in order. And I will pamper myself a little bit and be proud that the day is done. And very grateful that I have a warm bed to sleep in and a roof over my head, and I usually am pretty pampered. So I'll remember that. I hope everybody has a great evening, and I will look forward to talking to you tomorrow, and I'm sure it will be another day of lessons.